You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
This is Melanie. In the future, memes will become more powerful than politicians and will steal their seats away from them and take over the government.
This is Jesse. In the future, when you escape the asylum, you'll be assigned a city to protect and a battle cry.
This is Randy. In the future, we will just recycle our own in-jokes, because you probably didn't hear them the first time anyway.
It's very true.
You know you didn't.
You know you didn't. Content. Wet blanket. Rebirth.
We'll even recycle in jokes from other people's podcasts that we just happen to be on. Speaking of which, I just finished your Grindbin appearance.
Did you?
Yeah, it was fun. Good episode. Easy.
I felt a little better about it. I was a little bit more talkative. We recorded that.
You fit in. You know, you've got good chemistry with those guys.
Well, good.
Uh-oh.
It was yeah, that's right. Uh-oh. You better watch out.
Oh no.
You just start worrying about your chemistry now? With all these weirdos on the interwebs?
Yeah, they record. I mean, they don't record late their time, but our time it's kind of late. So partway through, I was like, uh-oh, I'm kind of tired. I can tell I'm starting to get quiet. So I tried to push to still be a little bit more talkative than the first time. But welcome to the Grawlix podcast. This is episode 40. Our
40.
Our show should be married and own a house by now.
Going over the hill.
And maybe might start be having a midlife crisis. Might have to watch out about their purchases. Like it's gonna start buying cars and hanging out with the wrong crowd.
I was gonna say our podcast is gonna start riding around in convertibles with younger podcasts.
Or it might get a van.
Riding around with younger podcasts.
Yeah, van exploitation, which I didn't even know was a thing until this week.
Yes. So what? I don't know where we're gonna cut into the episode on there. So if you're confused, what we were talking about is much like last month, this month or last month, I was on Grindbin again. So yeah, we'll just open the show with a little Grindbin promotion. I was on Grindbin, which is super exciting. My second time in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it was their 1 year special anniversary episode. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy likes to go and spend his anniversaries with other people.
It was
snap.
That's weird.
It was their anniversary.
It was their anniversary.
I know.
I was the third wheel.
I'm just.
That's not even remotely less weird.
It's still a little strange.
It's still really weird, but it's all right, Randy. Whatever helps you sleep at night. In a van.
It was a good time. I felt a lot better. Well, the second time on their show, so a little bit more comfortable chilling with the guys, talking to them, being goofy,
Next time,
fun.
By the next time, baby, you're just gonna be all over. You're gonna be doing the things that only you laugh at,
They'll be wait a second, what happened to this guy? This is getting weird.
He was such a good guest before.
Now he's just laughing at his own jokes, and he's
laughing at jokes from his own show. Nobody gets them.
Wow.
We're in joking.
What's he chuckling about? A treasure can? What is this?
Get out of there.
Get out of my treasure can, garbage man. Melanie doesn't even know because that was an episode she wasn't on.
No, I know.
What does the spider buggy have to do with anything, Randy?
What's
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, grindhousefilm.com. Check that out. I was on their anniversary episode, but we pimped them enough last month. All right. We gave them.
Who cares? They've been around for a full year.
We gave them plenty of praise. They only let me on to their 1-year anniversary episode that they're literally going to reference back to every episode going forward.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because it was so
Wow. Way to hold back, guys.
No, it's because okay, so every episode they do this thing where they try to tie in the movie that they covered in their first episode to the current movie that they're talking about. And the first episode was The Van. So it's always, how does The Van tie into this movie? It's a bit of fun they do at the end of every episode.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
And I think at one point they were like, so we went back and listened to that first episode and it's terrible. And I was like, that's the episode you guys refer to every episode. And they're like, so they basically redid it. They did another episode covering that same movie, The Van. And that's the episode I'm on. So now when they're like, in episode whatever, we talked about The Van, you should go listen to that. Guess what? Randy's going to be there every time.
Oh, crafty.
I like it.
Someday we're going to have him on our show. I've just been trying to figure out what we would talk about. I'm sure they've read.
We should redo The Other Dead.
Oh,
wasn't that on our very first episode?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
that would be content.
Oh.
That would be.
It was the one we started.
Yeah, I remember that one.
We read because it was supposed to, like, back when
The
we were
Flaming
like,
Poo?
yeah, we were trying to search out crappy comics to read,
and then we loved it.
It turned out to be pretty awesome. Yeah,
But they're movie guys, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we can just anything that is a movie now was a comic.
Well, The Other Dead would be decent because it feels like a B grade movie.
You're right.
But there's a comic out there based on a movie, a van-sploitation movie that never happened called Vandroid.
Oh,
That if I get a hold of a copy and maybe
Yeah,
can get them a copy, that might be the way to go.
yeah, I think that needs to happen.
Vandroid. It's
it-
like the perfect comic to try to get those guys to read and talk to us about.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll work on that.
I'm going to have to edit that show heavily, though.
I'm good with that myself.
I know you are.
I'm just have to rein myself in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse, you're out of control.
I like to react to things though, and that's where it would get me in trouble.
You know, you're right. And if you've got other people like well beyond the boundary, I could see you going there.
Well, you've seen it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You saw it on a crossover episode.
That was pretty great.
Like I got to get in on this. Boom.
He's gonna jump off the plane right in the F-bomb.
Yep, it's gonna be like Dr. Strange.
Never gonna hit the ground, Tiny Rick.
All right. However, on this episode, we're gonna talk about our poll list pick for this month. We read it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna pick next month's poll list pick, and then maybe a little other something else, and then we'll end.
Other words.
That is some other
We'll
words.
speak.
Nerd sounds.
Yeah.
Nerd
sounds.
All right, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do.
Clicky clack, nerd sounds.
There we go. Need Manicorn emphasis on that.
Yeah.
See, we got inside jokes to like videos and stuff that most people who are listening to this have never even seen.
No.
Well, they just need to get out more.
They need to subscribe to us on YouTube, then they know what we were talking about.
Or VidMe or any of our
Or VidMe.
channels. What would I call it? A tin tumbler? I don't even know what a tin tumbler is.
Tin Tumbler. Tim Taru.
Yeah, baby.
I'm like, oh no.
Oh.
What is this is starting to be something.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've all been together. That's the thing.
That's true.
You
That's
guys miss
true.
me?
So-
Oh.
Yeah.
Our crazy train is going off the rails.
All right. So I don't have any like other in-house news. We just kind of
Well, we kind of mentioned the YouTube. I posted a new follow-up to the 30-day comic challenge on YouTube. So there's more YouTube stuff, which is why you should go there.
it's good. You go slap a Grawlix on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slap Grawlixes on anything, everything.
That video was a very pleasant surprise. I didn't even know it was happening. I helped inspire the topic, and I knew nothing about it until I seen the thumbnail image pop up in our Dropbox. I was like, "What's all this then?"
It was like, am I in trouble?
No, I liked it. I was like,
no.
well, I seen that, and then I was like, what? And I went to the YouTube channel, and there was nothing. I was like, something's going to happen.
Yeah. I already had my thumbnail all planned out, and I was in the midst of editing when you shot me that message. I was like, I'm almost done. I'll just send him a link.
It's video. Magic.
Magic.
Moving pictures and sound.
Fairy dust.
Yeah.
Or I guess it'd be more like Louis dust. Or not Louis. Psh, my bad. Sorry.
Louis Dust.
Louis dust would do different things.
I just see him as like this crazy cat loving fairy that just goes. Like pets the cat and the dander becomes like pixie dust.
Yep.
Cat dander, pixie dust.
That's exactly it. And you get like magical hives. I don't know.
Hives?
Yeah. Cat, I don't know. What happens?
He's really he really is a benevolent fairy or pixie. He just like, he just doesn't know about people with allergies. He doesn't mean to give you a rash or make your eyes water. He just does.
Yep. That was fun.
Wow. Hey, what is the pull list? What are we talking about?
All right. Before we get to this pull list, Jesse, do you happen to have easy access to the website?
Yes,
Oh.
I can pull it up immediate lotto. That's not a word. I don't know what that was.
I have a feeling it's gonna be another tie, isn't it?
Last I checked it was.
Maybe I need to make a vote real quick.
Hop on there.
Yeah, we got a weird three-way tie. I wonder what could possibly happen in the next 5 seconds. I feel like there's gerrymandering afoot.
All right, so what we're talking about, every month we read a trade or a graphic novel selected and voted on by listeners and visitors to grawlixpodcast.com. You too can be one of those listeners / visitors that have voted on the poll, and then every month we pick the one with the most votes. We read it and discuss it on the next month's first of the month episode. So right now we're just figuring out what we're going to talk about on episode number 43. That'll be the first episode of next month. All right, Jesse might need to do a refresh and then give us the final winner for this month. This is in no way rigged.
I'm not surprised I'm totally surprised by this. All right, pulling it up just now. The winner by a very slim margin is Bone Volume 1.
Woo!
Bone.
Woo!
That's the one I wanted.
That's
Go figure.
That's weird.
Hearsay would say
That's some awesome coincidence. Yeah.
I have a feeling it was almost surprisingly Superman's secret identity.
Almost.
Until somebody looked at the cover of Bone.
Yep.
And
it was cute.
Bone is supposed to be great. I've never read it.
Yeah. I haven't either, but I think it's in one of my many humble bundles, so that works out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Bone is one I've heard mentioned on many podcasts. It's supposed to be good, and it's one that's good for.
I think it's a regular that Patrick and Patrick's dad read on Make Dad Read Comics. So,
Well, if Dad likes it, then I'm gonna like it too.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good, and it's also like all ages friendly but in a good way.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Well, I'm taking other people's words for it, so take their words for it.
All ages friendly. Psh.
Through the transitive powers of.
We're to take third party word for it.
Yep. When it popped up on the list, I was kind of glad to see it pop up there because it's like, that's been on my I don't know what my list of shame, I guess.
I think everything that's cute has turned out well.
Mm-hmm.
So cute is the way to go.
Well, I think top 10 lists are highly recommended. It's usually not just like working on a cuteness factor. There's usually some good like substance to it. It's cute and it has substance.
Okay, but I haven't been working off the list. I'm saying everything I would pick cute is good.
If it's cute, it's good.
Yes.
What about milk and cheese? Are they cute?
Who?
Milk and cheese?
No. They're not cute. They don't have big eyes.
They kind of do.
Not really.
Okay.
Really squinty eyes.
I was
shifty.
Shifty.
Yeah, they do have shifty eyes. I was trying to think of the cutest thing we've read, but
Afterlife with Archie.
Wasn't there one that wasn't really cute though? There was one with animals that was cute, and it wasn't the one where they were in the cypress.
What was that? We Three or something? something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah,
that was the one where they
big
were in the
robot
suit.
suits. Yeah.
I don't know.
What about Mouse?
The drawing was cute, but the subject matter was not. But it was still really good.
Yeah. What's that other one? Wonder
Dog.
Dog Chosen.
Somebody the Wonder Dog.
Duncan the Wonder Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't really cute though, I guess.
The drawing again was kind of cute, but the subject matter not so much.
Yeah.
Still good though.
Swamp Thing's cute.
Swamp
Something
right?
is cute.
Swampy is cute, especially that
adorable.
profile or that kind of 3/4 away from profile shot, and you can see his big eyebrows.
Oh,
cute
really
long
loves his
Swamp Thing
Swampy.
face.
Oh.
Sure, he's got animal carcasses inside of him because he does that sometimes, but hey, we're not perfect. None of us are.
No. He's growing tubers, so that we're just yammering at this point.
Oh, you go.
That's
oh, wow.
what I did. I did that.
Wow, you did. All right. And with that, we're moving on. So,
What are we reading today?
Today,
Or what did we read today?
Today
Yesterday.
we're gonna talk about the Tick.
Also cute.
Yeah, you think so?
The drawing? Yeah, it's cute.
Okay. I don't know what the name of this book is called.
The Tick.
I don't know that it had a name. I think it's just
Like
Omnibus.
One.
Omnibus Volume 1.
The Tick.
Essentially, the Tick issues 1 through 6 is what it collects. Like the original issues 1 through 6. I have a little bit of.
Really an omnibus? Just 6 issues?
Not really.
Okay.
That's
But
just what they named the original
Mhm.
collections, was omnibuses.
Ah.
Seems very ticky, like a very Tick thing to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, here's the little bit of information I pulled up here. This is from Wikipedia, so it must be true.
You're right.
The Tick was created by cartoonist Ben Edlund in 1986 as a newsletter mascot for the New England Comics chain of Boston area comic stores. After its creation, the character spun off into an independent comic book series in 1988. That's what we'll be talking about. And gained mainstream popularity through an animated TV series on Fox in 1994. That's the information I have.
All right.
Pretty much covers it.
Good job.
Now, Jesse, I know you were very familiar with this comic before we went into it. You've read this before, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I don't know why, but I have 2 different copies of Volume 2. I was looking at it, I was like, why do I have 2 of these? Are they the same? They have different covers. Oh, yeah, they're the same.
And for me, I had never read any of the Tick comics, but back in 1994 and probably 95, I loved the cartoon.
I've never read any of the comics, and I think I saw a couple episodes maybe of the show. That's about it.
I think I was introduced to it via the show, but then I just went on like a tear and like got all the Tick I could. And so there's things in the show that are like, I've always been like, oh, why didn't they do this storyline? Why didn't they introduce this character? And I suppose there's rights issues or whatever.
I didn't rewatch any of the old cartoon in preparation for this episode. I enjoyed the humor of the cartoon, and also there was some consistency between episode to episode. It wasn't always like ongoing stories like X-Men cartoon at the time was, but it was for example, Chairface tried to like laser his name into the moon. He only got so far into it, and then the whole rest of the series that was lasered on the moon in the background.
Yeah.
Little touches like that.
I love that. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but in my brain, he has the same voice as Brock.
Well, there was also a live action series. Actually, I think there's been 2 now, and he played the Tick.
You did?
Yeah, he
Was
played
it
the Tick.
Patrick Warburton or
yep.
something. Warburton, yeah, there you go. And I think he's actually got a credit on the new series. I could be wrong about that, but I thought I saw him as like a producer credit or something.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, he's not the Tick in the new series, but yeah. And that's on Amazon, right? That's an Amazon.
Yeah, I actually watched that in anticipation of this because I hadn't seen it yet.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what was holding me back, but then I did like a little search on it, and I found out that Edlund was actually involved in it, which is good. He should be, and so I watched an interview with him, and I was like, okay, I gotta check this out. And it's pretty good. I mean, I kind of like the Patrick Warburton series a little better. This one takes it a little bit more serious, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It was pretty funny. It was pretty good.
Did they ever use it as introduction for other stuff?
Like other characters?
No, I feel like it would be like a like Space Ghost. I don't know if that was that way either. But like it would start with that, and then it'd go into like the feature show, and then it would end with that
like
again.
What's the word? Like a variety show or an anthology
Sort
thing?
of.
I don't think so.
Kind of like how Animaniacs used to do it, or Freakazoid used to do it. They'd have like the main show, and then they'd have like
Pinky in the
Good
Brain.
Idea.
And...
Yeah, Pinky in the Brain, or Good Idea, Bad Idea, or...
I don't think so. Yeah, so, okay. This is kind of 3 little storylines, these 6 issues. You've got the kind of the introduction to the Tick tied into this not Superman character.
I actually had to stop and ask, wait, is this Superman? I'm so confused. It's so much almost Superman.
It is insane how close it is. Like, he's even Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Clark Oppenheimer.
And then we've got this Electra type, the hand type ninja thing going
with a
on.
Horrible name.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least that's how that struck me. And then you've got the last issue, which is this kind of a one-off introducing a couple other characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of tie it all up in an epilogue.
Jesse, I think I recall you having some interest in ninja type things. How does this book make you feel?
I love it. I love it, actually. I mean, like there's a scene in that mid section where the ninjas are surrounding the house, and we had T-shirts made.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how much we wanted to dig into it, but yeah.
That's great.
I did. Okay, that what you're talking about is a perfect example of the humor in this. It's ridiculous. It's absurd and goofy, but for me anyway, it totally worked. Mm-hmm. So the ninjas are all like, they've surrounded this house. They're in a straight line, and they each have like 1 or 2 like very sparse branches. And they're they've camouflaged themselves as a hedge around the house. Mm-hmm. And it's so ridiculous, but man, it's funny. I want to say a couple times, the Tick or somebody says something about the hedge is coming, or they're being attacked by a hedge.
And the owner of the house looks outside. He's like, I don't remember that hedge.
And it's clearly just ninjas standing out there. It's so good.
And yeah, so what we did was, for the people who haven't gleaned this from previous episodes, I am a martial arts instructor, and we teach kind of a variant of ninjutsu. And so at one point we had shirts made that said, "Really, we're a hedge." And like there's like 4 or 5 of us with those shirts on, and we're just standing in a row. So
that's great.
I love it. This is one of my favorite. I mean, like when I go back to the Tick, I tend to seek out this first volume, ironically enough.
I'm so glad Melody asked you about that, because when me and Jesse were messaging, because all that whoever submitted this to the poll, they just said the Tick. So, I was like, hey, so what should we read? Just like volume 1, how many issues is that? What's this? And once we kind of settled on volume 1, he just messages, ninjas.
Yeah. That's the one I wanted to do anyways. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's volume 1. Perfect.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit specifically about the character of the Tick, and at least in as much information as this gives us. Yeah, he was in an asylum.
He starts page 1. He's in an asylum and he's bored.
Yeah, he breaks out, and there's, I don't know, some little adventure, but he ends up in the city, and he, likes to stand on rooftops and jump around rooftops. That's like his favorite thing. And go on little monologues about the city and the crime in the city, and he's the superhero. And it takes him a while before he actually gets into any actual superheroing. Most of the time he's oblivious to anything going on because he's just talking to himself about being a superhero.
Aren't Ticks supposed to be able to jump really high?
Is that why he can jump?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, he can jump across roofs, but I don't think it's like superhuman.
Yeah, it's more he's super strong and nigh invulnerable.
It's the nigh invulnerable, really, that you see a lot.
Yeah.
He falls all the time.
But he can also like pick up a chimney and throw it, so he's pretty strong.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And he takes some hits. Oh, well, I guess that'd be nigh invulnerable from not Superman, and he's fine. It does knock him upside down a bit, but I love the Superman bit, especially when the Tick shows up at his work, and it's just like annoying him, the annoying guy you can't get rid of. But
like nobody overall, people don't even pay any mind to the fact that he's got this costume, really. Like he walks in with a tie, like trying to affect this secret identity, and the boss is just like, "Oh, you're that guy, that crossword guy," and he's just like, "You're just really bad at this job." Like,
well, and the tie, the tie's his super clever disguise.
I think it's magical or something. It's supposed to be even.
And
hypnotic, yeah.
And between that and then the ninjas, the ridiculousness of the ninjas later on, not everybody is that ridiculous, but the world in which they have established here, like, plays along with these goofy rules at times. It's not just the Tick being weird and silly, like other characters just accept it. He does some ridiculous stuff, and like turning Clark's car into an ashtray. It's like, what?
Like he sets up the Fortress of Solitude right there in the Daily Planet or whatever it is. Was it the Weekly World Planet paper?
My favorite bit was Clark's glasses get knocked off. This is towards the end. I don't think we return back to Clark after this bit, but his glasses get knocked off and broke, and that's his disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm assuming not Jimmy Olsen comes out of the elevator,
Billy, or that's what the Tick keeps calling him, is Billy.
Yeah, he does the whole hands, like fake hand glasses over his face when he looks. Oh god, it was so good.
It was pretty funny.
that made me laugh so hard.
He does that whole thing with the eraser. Otter Creekite. Yes, Clark, your only source of weakness.
Oh yeah.
My strength. I can feel it draining away. I'm too weak to fly. Growing ever weaker every second. Can't use my see-through vision or my very hot vision. Things getting very blurry, out of focus. And then he's like, it's only a green eraser. Ha! Green eraser, good one, huh?
I like that too. Kind of makes fun of what the is douche a bad word?
Douche?
Yeah, I can say that, right?
Sure.
Of the douchiness that is Clark.
Oh yeah. So then the other major story is the whole ninja thing, the night of a million zillion ninjas or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's very much an Elektra type analog. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name?
Yeah. Oh, which is why she's called. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Which is why she's called Oedipus, because that's the other complex. You could have an Electra complex, or you could have an Oedipus complex, and apparently she's got that one.
The ninjas are ridiculous. At one point, we get introduced to Paul the samurai. Was it Paul?
Yep. Paul the samurai.
And I love that bit. I like that he baked his sword into
a baguette.
Yeah, a baguette, a long big loaf of bread. And so most of the time when he's fighting guys, fighting ninjas and stuff, he's fighting them with a baguette.
Mm-hmm. Which would probably work just as well if it didn't have a sword in it.
Yeah.
I like how, like Oedipus, she keeps calling the ninjas by name. It's just like, that's crap and you know it, Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's also a ninja.
Yeah. Hey, she shot at us. Ooh, she must be pretty mad.
Oh, and I like, is it this one of the episodes with her? And they're like fighting her, trying to catch her, and one of them stabs her, and he's like, "Oh my god, you stabbed her!"
Everybody's surprised that he actually stabbed her. The Tick freaks out.
They do this whole like almost like Monty Python-esque kind of deal where they're like making fun of the Tick from another building, and that's when he throws a chimney at him.
Oh yeah.
I think I got a bone bruise. Oh, I hate those.
It's hard to because there is a story here, especially when we get into the ninja stuff, but it's not the kind of book that's necessarily like, the story's good, but you're not reading it for the story. The story is a narrative that strings along the wacky adventures and the jokes and the references and all that. So it's kind of hard to tackle in a way we might tackle other books.
Yeah.
A lot of one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
The sidekick guy, is he a bunny? I thought he was supposed to be a moth.
Yeah, he's a moth, yeah.
Then why did he say he was dressed like a bunny?
Well, the Tick said he was dressed like a bunny, or somebody did.
Yeah, it was a Tick.
Yeah.
That's kind of a running joke through all the Tick series, is that everybody mistakes him for a bunny.
Yeah, it only come up, I think, that once in this, but I recall that from the cartoon, is that was an ongoing thing. And it would make Arthur
I can tell
mad.
he's a moth.
Yeah, I know. But it's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah. Also a furry. Did you know that?
I do like that Arthur just pops up in the background once in a while, right from the beginning.
Mhm.
And he's not, like, there's the first few, he's not noticeable at all if you're not looking for him. I was kind of expecting him at some point before he actually starts making more predominant appearances. And by the end,
He's snagging stuff out of trunks and stuff.
yeah. And his whole thing, he's just a regular guy. In fact, I can't remember what he's doing. At one point, it came up what his job was. He was like an accountant or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, at least in the cartoon, he was an accountant.
He's an accountant.
Yeah. And, but he quit his job or something. He wants to be the Tick's sidekick because adventure things don't happen to regular people. And since he's been watching the Tick, like, the Tick is like an adventure magnet. So he wants to be his sidekick.
He tried to find adventure and he couldn't find any.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
And adventure just seems to happen to the Tick.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was fun.
That's fun.
All right. Let's get to this last issue then. We're going to jump to this because I know, Melanie, you were not super thrilled with how this trade wrapped up.
Okay. Wait, real quick. Before we do that, can we talk about the end of the other stuff?
Yeah, of course.
I know it went through like the couple three, but so this thorn of whatever the hell.
Oblivion?
The thorn of oblivion that they were after for a couple issues. It falls at the end. They drop it accidentally and it breaks, and then the ninja guy jumped after it and he dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, but it wasn't really magic. It wasn't like a big whoosh and all the ninjas disappeared. So are the ninjas still like a thing? Are they still gonna?
Well, like,
They never really addressed what happens to the rest of the ninjas then.
Well, they didn't really get into the specifics of the organization because the ninjas are still technically out there. And what's his name? The general manager or the district, whatever the guy that led them locally was, he's still out there. Ninja World's been destroyed.
Yeah. I
also like that the Tick got upset and just leveled this entire building.
Yeah, me too. It was a theme park, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
and also that the Ninja Clan has been like over here been run by this guy who's turned it into a theme park and merchandised it.
The ninjas have a theme park.
But I mean, it's just explained away as like, well, you know, it's not necessarily magical, but that thing is destroyed. The main ninja leader guy's dead. Their organization's in disarray. It seems like it was effective in the long run, but yeah, I mean,
they kind of like, they wrap it up in the epilogue, and they're basically like, the general manager's like, well, that, you know, ninjas are kind of out of style. Our market research indicates a new trend for the 90s: whirling dervishes.
What is a whirling dervish?
And he just has them. They've got like these cone hats on, and they're just spinning around.
Wow.
And they have like their own, because they have that paperback that they referred to, and it's like, is whirling dervish secrets revealed out in paperback yet? I'm nauseous from all the spinning.
Okay, so do you want to talk about the Red Scare?
Let's talk about the Red Scare.
So the last bit here is more of a one-off that introduces this other superhero or wannabe superhero running guy.
He can run as fast as 10 really fast men.
Yeah, I like that they kept saying it that way.
Yeah.
This is also where we get that classic bit that they have basically redone every time that they do the Tick, and that is where he is in Arthur's apartment and he's trying to figure out where the secret switch is.
Yeah, and he's breaking things, pulling coat hooks off the wall and
tearing couches apart.
What does this turn into? A bed.
Yeah.
Arthur's like, it's just an apartment, and the Tick is very disappointed by that. He's like, well, you need to get on that.
Meanwhile, he doesn't even have an apartment.
So the running, yeah, he's homeless, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from an insane asylum. Come
on. So the running guy is paying this other guy
$5,000.
$5,000 to set up. Basically, he's buying an archenemy and setting up this fake superhero fight encounter to become, so that he can get some publicity, because apparently there's really not that much activity in this town. So as a superhero, it's hard to get attention, I guess. Mm-hmm. Sets up this fight with the Red Scare. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And then, of course, the Tick comes across it before Running Guy can get there. And
He's overwhelmed with emotion. He found a supervillain.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I did like that.
But in the end, it just made the bad guy. It made him really sad to me because he was like, "Oh, you defeated me," and he's like, "No, fight me." And then the other guy shows up and he's like, "Get away from my bad guy, he's mine." And then he's like, "Come on!" And the guy goes, "Oh, you defeated me," and he's like, "No, fight me." And everybody's trying to fight him, and he just wants to not fight. I'm like, leave the poor guy alone.
The red scare guy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it was just a job to him. The timer went off.
The timer went off. Yeah.
He's like, well, my job here is done. At this point, I'm supposed to be defeated. So I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm defeated.
But
He didn't even want to be the Red Scare. He liked it when he was, God, what was the name? Something about Scotsman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they in the end, the good guy, it was the bad guy in my opinion, and the bad guy was just sad.
Yeah.
There's my take on that whole last one.
What were some of your favorite gags? This is definitely a gag book for anybody. I'll go ahead and start with two of my favorite gags, other than the not Superman glasses thing. I like towards the beginning when we first see the Tick, like before it's really established that he's nigh invulnerable, when he falls off the building and he grabs that pole on the way down, but it just snaps off,
Yes.
of course. And then the whole next, like, it's like half the issue of this comic. Several pages, he's standing there talking to this guy on the side of the street, and the whole time the pole's going in his hands. Even after he puts it down on the ground, it's still going and whipping back and forth. And the pockets.
Yes, he just stops everything. I think I had a wonderful dream.
Yeah, he's so taken by the pockets. Nothing else in the scene matters at that point.
I like where he's standing on a rooftop or something, doing a monologue of himself. You know, he's acting like a narrator telling his story. He stands over the city, whatever. Like, and he's actually saying it though.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I like at one point he's got an internal monologue going on about something about the blood on the city, like a red Afghan or something.
Yeah.
And then he says it like a page or two later. He says it to a character: "The blood on the city's like a red Afghan." I'm like, oh man, that's great.
I liked when he finds the Fortress of Fortitude or whatever, and it starts up with that whole Marlon Brando Superman riff, you know, and then at the end of the crystal, it's end of side 1, turn over crystal and proceed at the sound of the tone, which like totally calls back to like those stories on cassette.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have the book and the cassette.
So is the Superman a beaver in this world? Because in that little thing with the crystal, that's why they were beaver people.
Oh no, it was something. The name of the planet, the not Krypton, was something ridiculous that had
Otter Creek.
That's what
Otter
it was.
Creek.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was like an Otter Creekian or something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys didn't like?
I don't like the way they misused that poor bad guy in the last issue.
Yeah, that bugs you, huh?
It does bug me.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have fancy gains. What is it?
Fancy gains.
Like, not monetary necessarily, but, well, not monetary. Media. You shouldn't be able to get media attention. You shouldn't be able to buy media attention superheroing. It's just wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the point, though. The running guy was not doing the right thing there.
No, he wasn't. He was a bad guy.
Kind of.
He should be the nemesis. There you go.
His symbol was ridiculous. His outfit.
The bent palm tree?
The palm tree.
The palm tree, yeah. Like I ran past it really fast. I think one of my favorite panels is in the epilogue where he's talking to that like monkey guy. This is hanging there, and he's like, "Listen, we could stop crime in this city entirely." And he's like, "Hey, listen, pal, I'm a superhero. I don't want to stop crime. I just want to fight it."
yeah.
Like that's I love that.
Yeah, I enjoy the superhero world they're setting up to where, at least at this point, there's not much in the way of superheroes, other superheroes and supervillains. It's like it's just starting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it just gets wackier and wackier. Like Chainsaw Vigilante becomes a thing, and Paul the Samurai has his own little spin-off. And yeah, what do you guys think? Is this a thing you would keep reading?
Yes, because this simply seems like this is the birth of Venture Brothers or something. This is how it began. Was this little ridiculousness, and then it eventually grew up and became the Venture Brothers.
Ah,
I
see that. Yeah, they're very similar. Yeah,
I could see that because Venture Brothers and this are very much in the same line. Like Venture Brothers is goofy. It might not be as certain aspects might not be as goofy, but I mean,
I could totally see these ninjas going and lining up to try out as a henchman for one of the other bad guys.
Oh yeah, now that you mention it, that hedge gag, you could 100% see that in Venture Brothers.
Oh,
yeah.
And I love Venture Brothers, so there you go.
King Monarch's henchmen would totally do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, was it 23 and 24? I could see them in the Tick.
Yeah, me too. In fact, one of them I bet used to be the Moth guy.
yeah. Yeah, I would keep reading this.
Yeah, me too.
I would, for sure.
I'm not going to, but I would.
I enjoyed it. I want to say my only, and this is stretching for criticism, but it's not even a criticism. The ninja story stuck around just as long as it needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if it went much longer, it would have gotten annoying.
Yeah, like, as for the actual plotting, like, yeah. I mean, much longer, you wouldn't necessarily need it. You just wouldn't need it. But, yeah, that's not even a criticism. I'd read more, and I thought the art looked good, just to throw a nod to the art.
Yeah, and I think he does both, doesn't he? I mean,
yeah.
I think Ben Edlund did all the right, and like right now, Ben Edlund is like primarily a TV writer guy. Like he did Supernatural for years, and he worked with Joss Whedon on, I think Buffy and Angel.
Yeah, so I bet
Randy loves Buffy.
Yeah, I was not a fan of Angel though, but I never liked the Angel character.
I don't either.
Yeah, I didn't do much research into him, but I bet the Tick cartoon series was kind of his into television.
Oh yeah,
I would imagine. Oh, we should talk about Crazyhead just a little bit. We've only watched that TV show.
Oh yeah,
we've only watched like 2 episodes. But
let's talk about that.
Okay.
We watched a show called Crazyhead. We were on Netflix looking for something, and
is it an original or?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And we were scrolling through it. I'm like, hey, Randy, that says Crazyhead. Go back to that. That looks fun. And it did.
Based on the title, I don't think I would check it out on my own. Crazyhead, in my mind, is not a good title. But we read the description. It's a Netflix original. We read the description, and it's kind of Buffy. Like, they're not high school students or anything, but it sounded very much like the Slayer type situation where it's like there's one in a generation, sometimes 2, and they fight. It's not vampires, it's demons, but I mean, Buffy fought demons too. But it sounded very Buffy. And then I think we watched the preview or the trailer or whatever it is they autoplay on there. And it's British, or at least, it's like British. I don't know where they actually produced it since it's a Netflix original, but it's British, and it's kind of got adult humor, but it's got it's got good delivery.
Yeah, it is.
So we checked it out, and I'm glad you had a stop because it's very entertaining.
It is very entertaining.
What hooked me on the first episode is it's a comedy, but kind of like the characters are kind of weird, but there's also strong horror movie stuff going on. Like it's not just like, to a point, Buffy was like sitcom with horror themes. This actually had like some horror sequences where it's like watching a horror movie. You got
building up the tension.
Yeah. And so I thought that was like it integrated well into what the show was.
And I love their little weird things. They like they want to perform an exorcism. And they're like, we got to pee on her. And then,
yeah, and exactly. And so the one chick does have to pee on her possessed friend. And so that is awkward.
like a jellyfish. Possession is cured the same way as jellyfish sting, apparently.
But it also doesn't pull punches. It gets pretty extreme. Characters die and stuff. But it's good.
And some of the humor is fantastic. And like Randy really liked it. I liked it too, but man, the hot dog bit.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if it would like translate well to explaining the hot dog bit, but just the guy with a hot dog.
He had a hot dog, no bun, just a hot dog. He had already taken a bite of it. And the chick shows up at his door and she's like, goes to ask him if she can come in or something. And he slaps her in the face basically with the hot dog over her lips. He's like, shh. And he starts rubbing the hot dog across her mouth.
While he's doing this.
Bite taken out of it. I'm sorry. It's just,
And he's doing he's like the creepy, like, kind of creepy. He's the friend that hits on her too much, she's not interested.
Oh no.
And so she shows up in the middle of the night and he goes into this long, like,
little
this long speech about, finally, blah, blah, blah. And he's like rubbing the hot dog on her face this whole time. It's like, what is this?
But it was great.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
So watch that. That's good.
Yeah. There's Crazyhead. Yeah. I was very surprised by it.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking through the other day. I'll get into, I think next episode, I'll talk a little bit about another show I've been watching on Netflix, but I was scrolling through the other day trying to find something different to watch. And this actually, I think me and Jesse talked about this quite a little bit last episode. There's a ton of stuff on there that I just wasn't even aware. There's even more than I thought. Like there's some show called Travelers about time travel, and I'm a little torn on how it actually looks, but the concept sounds cool. There's one called Glitch that sounds like this French show I think it's French, we were watching for a while back, where people come back from the dead. They're not like zombies, they just like come back.
We never finished watching that.
Mm-mm. There's apparently a couple shows like that on Netflix. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that looks interesting.
It's the same as that one, because that one was especially interesting because they came back the same age as when they disappeared. And like in the one situation, she had a twin. So her twin sister was like 10 years older than her.
I wish I could remember what that show was called offhand. The Returned or something. I don't know. It's been remade into English language as well. So
Probably not as good.
Anyway. TV talk. I got no theme song for that. Melanie, sing us a TV talk theme song.
TV talk theme song. Sorry.
That was good.
Thanks.
It's more than I was expecting.
I put out once in a while. Or not. That's not what I want. You know what I mean.
I do.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't have a letters page segment.
Oh, it's just a segment. Okay. I was like, baby, we got rid of the letters page? Huh?
No, we still have the letters page.
Oh, good.
We're just waiting on them letters.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
So, letters page. If you want to get a hold of us, if you want to talk at us, if you want us to read your letter on the show, if you've got comments on something we've read about, something we read, something we talked about, or you just want to say what's up, you can send an email to letters@grawlixpodcast.com. It's letters, letters@grawlixpodcast.com. We'll read it on the show at some point. Or maybe that's not good enough for you. Maybe you actually want your voice on our show. Well, you can also record an MP3 and send it to that email address, or you can call our Google Voice line and leave a message at 559-426-6427 or 559-4-comics.
If they called when we were on the computer, could we talk to them? Or is it just answering service?
I have it set up right now. It automatically goes to messaging.
Okay.
I mean, I could, but I don't want that.
We'd be talking about something super important, like the hot dog scene, and then the phone would start ringing. Come on, that would mess up the magic.
You ruined the hot dog scene.
Come on, guys, wait your turn. We're talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about? Well, I guess there's more, and then
there's more
before we. And more. I really am gonna do inside jokes to other podcasts on our show now. And more. So next episode, what are we talking about, guys? What are we talking about next episode?
Next episode, we're talking about that one thing the bone.
Okay.
That's next month, actually. Ghost in the Shell, right?
Yeah. Next episode, we're going to talk about Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, my bad.
This is unpredictable time travel that we have.
Yeah, we're going to talk about, the live action movie's coming out. It won't be out by the time next episode goes up. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewatch the anime, the original anime, the movie, and we're going to talk about that.
From the 90s?
Yeah, 95, 96, I think.
From the good old days.
Man, that is old. I wonder if it holds up.
I wonder. We'll have to watch it.
I wonder.
And then discuss it next episode.
Yep.
And then, but Melanie, you're not incorrect. It's the first episode of next month. What is that? Not March. It's March now. April.
Oh.
The first episode of April, we'll talk about Bone.
Oh.
Probably volume 1 because it's very serial, I think.
Happy anniversary, baby.
Holy crap, this is our anniversary. Wait a second.
Is it Grawlix's anniversary too?
It is.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's right, because that's when we started.
Yeah. Wow.
Is this our anniversary episode? Like this one right here?
I kind of think it might be.
I think it might be too. Wow.
Whoa.
Did we forget our own anniversary?
I'm sorry. It's because of
We
me.
did- we
It's my,
did.
my fault. I've done that before.
No, you reminded. Yes, you have, but you reminded us
Yeah.
On the show.
at the end of the episode.
This is us actually forgetting our own anniversary on the show.
Well, how are we going to open the episode talking about Grindbin's 1 year anniversary? And it's like our 4th year anniversary.
It is. And we don't, well, you know, we lost the magic.
Oh.
Well, maybe next episode we'll have to make up for it somehow.
Yeah.
It'll be our observed anniversary.
You know, the episode where we're not going to talk about comics at all.
Well,
Yeah.
we have to rekindle the magic somehow.
Yeah.
And
Good
if that
point.
has to
Yeah.
be over anime, then so be it.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've kind of talked about wanting to get anime on the show since like episode 1. So this is us finally making good on our campaign promise.
This is true.
Wait, what?
4 years. I hope the wait's worth it. Come back in 2 weeks to find out if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Jesse. That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What the Grawlix are we going to do now? What are we going to do?
This is Randy. You two donkey Grawlix couldn't get laid in a morgue.
This is Melanie, and I am happy. I'm a happy person. I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with the way things are going in my life. I'm happy with Grawlix.
Thank you for listening to the Grawlix Podcast. The Grawlix Podcast is a production of the Electronic Media Collective and Vorpal Arrow Studios. For more Grawlix podcasts, check out grawlixpodcast.com. Also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, YouTube, electronicmediacollective.com, facebook.com/grawlixpodcast, twitter.com/grawlixpodcast, all the .com/all the Grawlix podcasts. Let's talk about our show. No,
we have a show.
we were so nice to their show last month, and they've been so awesome. I have like this like urge to like just trash their show for fun.
That's
For fun.
that. I don't know if that's a good instinct.
It's not. It's a bit self-destructive if you ask
I
me.
was going to say, isn't cross promotion a good thing? I thought that was good.
No, they're great.